everybody, it's Purplehaze here, and I wanted to make a video about loving yourself. Now, loving yourself can include a couple of different emotions or categories, I believe. Like maybe you love one part of yourself, or you love your talents but not really your looks. What does it mean to, I guess, love yourself? I think in a lot of people's definition, loving yourself is accepting you for who you are, including your looks and all your flaws. So you don't grow up hating yourself. So you don't grow up to be suicidal. And I think it's gotten worse with people not loving themselves because more people feel lonely. Less people have friends nowadays. Less people are socially connected. A lot of people don't get those dopamine hits that used to be so common back then, where you actually had a strong community, where there was actually a sense of purpose, where you could work and you could retire, you know? There's more than just someone's self-hatred or self-delusion. I think a lot of things can go into how somebody feels about themselves or how they feel about others. Say the economy. When the economy is good and people can make money and they can actually get things that they always wanted or maybe that they needed without going into more debt, or they're actually able to get ahead, you know, it can make them feel so fucking happy. It can make them feel so good. And then on the other hand, if they don't have any friends, if they don't have any concernable family members, if they don't have anybody that they can reach out to, or something that can be proved differently. Let's say you lived your whole life in this scenario. You are white, you are a boy, and you are not popular. It's not like you're really bullied, but they don't acknowledge you, which I feel is worse. Because when they bully you, at least a part of you is being acknowledged, even if it feels kind of shittier. But when you're lonely, it feels, well, as the word says, lonely. Nobody's acknowledging you. Nobody wants to talk to you. Nobody wants to be your friend. And it's not like you ever did a specific thing to these people. You didn't act a specific way. You didn't call them specific names. You were just never accepted. You weren't in the fucking clique. Everybody else was, but you were not. You were different. It's not like you were mentally retarded. It's not like you were so fucking ugly that they couldn't stand to even be seen with you. The answer is that you never find out why it was the way it was. Maybe they thought you were stupid. Maybe they thought you were immature. Maybe they thought you were hyperactive. Who really knows? You know, I've seen that story so many times. I've experienced it as well. I've seen it with some former acquaintances. You know, that's how my life has always been. Just always ignored, always lonely, never really invited to places, never really standing out in any way, not having any concernable or varying talents where you can actually feel proud of yourself. You know, in fact, it seems like you were more worse at everything than good at it. What's there to be proud of? You know, your looks never got you anywhere. You know, you were always rated probably the lowest in the class. You know, you're not a good-looking guy. And when you don't feel loved, you start to doubt yourself. You start to feel lonely. You start to feel sad. You start to feel like a fuck-up. And then when you come to being ugly, and you come nobody having interest in you as a friend or as a partner, you start to realize that you're not really wanted. You're not wanted in any concernable way. And you most likely will never have a wife or kids. And, you know, growing not being very smart on top of that, you're probably not going to have a decent job. Like, maybe the job you have now is the best you can do. And maybe the small reprieve you get from happiness of talking to somebody, even for a few minutes, it doesn't last very long, but it brings some light into your life. Maybe reading or writing can help you, just if it's not what you're the best at. I felt all those things. I still feel those things. I was striving myself. as you couldn't tell. That's how I feel all day, fucking every day. I know all those things. And you know, it makes me feel like I'm a bad person. When you're ugly and people are disgusted with you, it makes you feel like you're a piece of fucking shit, you know? It makes you feel like you don't deserve, like, to live. It makes you feel like you're complete. Nobody wants you around, nobody that cares, don't have a future, don't have a lover, don't have friends, don't have anything that would make somebody want to continue living. Can't acknowledge yourself, don't really like taking photos, don't really like taking videos too much anymore because you're in your fucking head, you know? You know, I've drained myself too much where I choked in my bowel, but all I could do is get drunk again. I smoked hoping to get cancer, but all I could do was move on to other smoking flavors. I took pills hoping to never wake up again, and I was out of it for 2 days, not really remembering what happened. But nobody ever figured it out. You know, fighting yourself, hoping to feel something, and for maybe the first time in your life you did. If you miss that feeling, you'll never go back to it. You know, you're not insane. You were just a movie teenager. And then finally, you know, trying to kill yourself. I've tried it a few times, like I just said, but each time was a failure. You know, when I look back on my life, all the people I compared myself to, all the people I wanted to be like, all the people I looked up to, I didn't compare to them. I can't even do half the things they did. I'm not half as smart. I'm not as good. I'm just the lowest of the low. I've never been made to feel otherwise. All the people that feel this, they will understand what I am saying. And people that never had to feel this loneliness, never had to feel the anger, the bullying, they'll just call me, oh, you know, it's, what are you, an incel? What are you, a freak? What are you, a fucking loser? Oh, he's just an ugly fuck, an ugly loser, an ugly incel. No, I'm not blaming girls. I'm not saying they should date who they don't want to date. I'm just presenting the reality of what having a mindset like that is like. I'm not blaming anyone. I know it's on me. I know it's my fault. But I'm just telling you my experiences because I fucking lived them. And you can't tell me they're not true because it's spent my whole life as free. Except for a very rare few times. I just have incredible strong will. I know what's gonna end my life. I know when I'm gonna die. I know how good my life is gonna get. I know that there's a time. I've already planned everything out. Not that I plan on, you know, doing what I said. But what I mean by planning things out is that, like, I know my life's not gonna get better. I know I'm probably not gonna be able to find a better job. I know I might not ever be able to own a house because of the failing economy and the rising of house prices and rent. I know I'll most likely never have kids. I've tried over and over and over again, you know, trying to get girls' attention, and it just never worked. And, you know, I want to be respectful, so I can't really blame them. They just had no interest. I wasn't good enough. And that's okay. You gotta understand that, you know, sometimes you're not good enough. Sometimes you are a piece of shit. Sometimes you don't deserve it. And I did it, and I don't. And I've come to the conclusion that, hey, you know, maybe I gotta bow out of this shit. And that's what I did, and I haven't tried it in the last 4 years. I quit drinking. I don't do anything except vape. Because it still numbs the pain. Whenever I'm off vapes, I get, like, more emotional where I want to cry, and I remember all the trauma and things that I never dealt with, you know, like I just bottled everything up. But when I vape, it kind of blanks my mind, you know, so like I can just ignore it. I can just let it go for just another day, you know. Maybe that's why I smoke so much. Maybe that's why I just do it, so I don't remember, so I can just focus on small simple things so I can just fucking get through another day, you know? I know what it's like to be in debt. I know what it's like to be homeless. I know what it's like to be all that, because I am all that. And sometimes, you know, it's not comfortable to cry on camera. It's not comfortable to cry in front of men or women. You know, a lot of men cry in silence, or they just bottle it up, and I don't know what my mind wants me to do. Part of me wants to bottle it up, but then another part of me is sad about it. But I'm just going to accept it like I always have. This is my life. This will be my life. And so I decided, well, I know it's probably never going to get better. And I know there's probably a lot worse going on for people in the world. And, you know, for people in my same situation, maybe a lot of people live, you know, better lives. You know, I know what it's like to be abused, cheated on, bullied, you know, like I know what it's, I've seen a lot of it. I know what it's like. And I hope that if any of you ever out there felt that, I hope you heal, and I hope that you can find happiness. You know, to love yourself, I feel like it's to accept all that. And to move on, and to forgive. Forgive others, forgive yourself. But I've always had a strong sense of emotional intelligence, you know, like whether it's feeling super guilty or disassociated with things, I know all about it. And I don't know what's wrong with me, you know, sometimes I do forgive myself and I'm super happy and I'm okay. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'm not so bad. Maybe I'm not a bad person. Maybe it's the others around me that judge me and never got the chance around me. Maybe it's the people on social media, they don't want to connect in real life anymore, so it's harder. So that makes you feel worse about yourself. Or maybe it's just, you know, sometimes I just feel really bad. I feel like the lowest of the low. You know, I read fiction to connect with it. I read fiction to relate to things. It's hard to relate to people in real life. But, you know, that's what self-love is to me. I don't feel like you always gotta love yourself. I don't feel like everything always has to be right in your life to live a comfortable one. And you know what? I don't feel like you have to be in love or like anything to continue to survive. It really depends on how strong one's will is and how much they can put up with and how unfair their circumstances are. Because too many people are willing to mock and laugh and be toxic and drive you to suicide instead of helping you get away from suicide. They'd rather drive you towards it. They don't care. They'd rather judge. They'd rather laugh. Humans are cruel. But yeah, you know, self-love, in my opinion, is a lot of things. Being tough, being reliant, just being a good person to others, and just hoping that one day, you know, maybe you'll be seen for who you are, or maybe what you truly are, you know, depending on what meaning that has, and maybe, just maybe, things can change. Maybe things can be different. You know, I don't feel like it had to end up this way. In fact, I know it didn't have to end up this way. But whatever people want to think about it, I'm glad you guys were able to hear my thoughts, hear what I had to say. I'm extremely grateful. And, you know, usually this isn't the Purplehaze video I like to make, but I just thought it had to be said because I've been really struggling with self-love the last few weeks. I love you guys. This is Purplehaze. Goodbye.